Hello and welcome to High Key Growth, the early stage founder, solopreneur, and marketer's guide to achieving rapid growth while running lean. And I'm your host, Gina Gregorick. So today's guest comes to us, CTO turned co-founder and CEO of Robotics, which was later acquired by Michelin. And now today he is the founder and CEO over at HeyLoopy. Ben Schmidt, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Gina. This is great. Nice intro. I loved it.
Thank you for coming. You know, Ben and I, we go way back. He's just literally the best. So this is going to be amazing. Ben, really quickly, before we dive in and start talking a little bit more about HeyLoopy and your marketing strategy over there and what you're thinking and what you're doing, I'd love it if you could give listeners the quick 101 on Ben Schmidt, where you've been, what you've done, and kind of give them some background to give a little more context for our chat.
Sure. So you gave quite a bit of the intro already, but I'll go a little bit further back and then fast forward through the story. So
Perfect.
I actually started in grad school, ultra nerd. I did a PhD in bioengineering and got really obsessed with sort of signal processing. At the time, it was called machine learning, before the whole AI craze today. So that was way back when. Did a lot of like brain imaging for understanding how brains worked. Did not like academia. It was slow. I wanted to do something faster paced, faster to get into the real world. Left as fast as I could, joined my first startup. I started as a data scientist there, became the CTO. We crashed that right into the side of a mountain. The thing blew up disastrously. That whole build something people want. Yeah, that's much harder than I think people give it credit. So that took a few years to figure out, but good learning lesson. And then a few of the folks there, we ended up spinning out Robotics, which you were talking about. So machine vision, we were doing road assessments. So also AI, we were looking at machine vision, trying to understand like cracks and potholes, giving it to governments. As you said, I started out as a CTO, but it's halfway through became the CEO. And that was sort of a huge learning lesson. We had just raised our Series A. Then we ran into the pandemic, which was super fun. But happily, we kept growing and we did some awesome stuff. And eventually, found a home with Michelin. So spent a few years with them. And then HeyLoopy. So the whole idea is around sort of training. How do people know things? How do you get that information out into people's heads? It's a super hard problem. For years, we've had learning management systems and things. They suck. Everyone knows that doesn't really work to sort of learn things. And so I started to explore kind of what could be done. And so that led me to right here, trying to figure out how to get that message out, some of the cool things that we're doing at HeyLoopy. And lots of lessons learned in the new world of, I did a lot of time in startups, but now this sort of post AI is everywhere.
Yeah.
Whole new set of learning and speed. So
yeah, I mean, you must be a bit of a glutton for punishment, I guess. What is your kind of going through that whole journey? Was there anything that made you say like, hey, I have to get in this founder's seat again? Surely it can't just be that you like beating yourself up.
It's a problem. It's a real problem. So, I mean, it took a long time. So, at first when we finished and became part of Michelin, there was a big part of me that was like, wow, never again. But I think once you're bit by that entrepreneurial bug, there's nothing quite like it. The lows are low. I'll admit that. First to admit it. It does have really sucky moments. But the high and the fact that like you can just work and create and like you literally see everything you create.
Yeah.
Nothing like it that I've ever experienced anywhere in the working world. And I just love it. So, I had a whole bunch of ideas that I was thinking through and trying to figure out, and ultimately ended up with this one that I think I just really like it. It's such an interesting challenge because it's at the interface of the like deep nerdy techie part, but then of people too. And I will also say one thing I'm quite proud of is that if you look at, robotics was all about helping governments to try to do better. HeyLoopy, I'm very proud to say we are not the AI taking jobs. We are the exact opposite, which I love, right? It's making people better at what they do using AI. So like, yeah, big win. I like that.
I love that for you. Amazing. So one thing I wanted to really talk about after our last conversation is when you look at HeyLoopy and we talk about training and compliance and all of these things that fall under the learning management world, that's just about every industry in the world has that and uses that. So when you first hear that, that sounds like a dream. Oh my gosh, we can sell to literally anyone, until you realize that you have 75 go-to-markets to plan. So I guess so far, what has been the hardest problem to solve there? Have you got any tips that you've learned thus far or ideas that you're working on?
Oh, 100%. Right. If you had asked me 10 years ago, I'd been like, we can sell to everyone. This is like unqualified, amazing. Yeah, that's not true. This is actually mostly disaster area. Where do you focus on? Who do you focus on? What do they look like? Even you go and that's marketing, but then you can think your product can go anywhere. You can add any feature you want. And now you can do it at speed. Oh man. So to me, the whole first part of it, right? So I'm super fortunate in that I'm starting a company having spent many years knowing lots of other people that have started companies. So I have the benefit that I can talk to a whole bunch of people really quick and get a gauge on what's working and what's not, and let things stick or not stick just through that. Right? I don't have to kind of like guess, which has been tremendous, right? So I have a bunch of pilots right now. They're giving excellent feedback. They're definitely putting me in the right constantly of like, no, nobody cares about that. Like, oh, all right, that's helpful. And I think that's really helped to like whittle it down into okay, here are the kinds of characteristics that I would never have expected, right? I have my own experience, but I don't have lots of other industry experience. So that's been helpful, kind of experimenting, iterating. But that is the whole problem right now, which is, we have an AI tool that helps people really learn things in all the kind of shapes of learning. Great. So restaurant all the way to, coffee shop to manufacturing to corporate life to whatever you want. Absolutely everybody. Everyone fits into that definition.
Right. And it's such a challenge too, because when you're like looking at going to market in all these different spaces and you're working with customers, you use that and you're agile and that's amazing. But all of a sudden it's like, where do we give and take? Where do we say, okay, we give you these features, this fits you, or does this fit everyone on a global basis? And are we just building custom software for our 10 pilots? Or, that's such a hard balance. It's tough.
It's super tough. And if somebody's out there is watching this exact podcast, you have the exact same thought, which is like, I'll think through that. It's like, that's actually, if you've done that, congrats. The second problem is much harder, which is like tomorrow, when you've spent the whole day working on it and you still have no feedback, right? Like the customers didn't come clamoring in after that. And then the next day you do it again, and then the next day, and you spend like 3 weeks focused on that one market. I don't know about everyone else, but for me, the nagging starts to creep in. That like doubt creeps in, and you start to think like, well, actually, what if we did pick that other market? Would that be better? Would that be good? And I think that's where the gotcha comes, is like, you have to pick it. You have to rest on that idea that like, we don't know, this is our hypothesis. And then you have to like keep attacking it over and over and over again with no feedback. Right? Because like that feedback rarely comes magically and instantly. It's like, okay, it could take a few months before the first one hits. And do you have the kind of stamina to stick with it? I don't know. I'm saying that out loud to help myself, watch myself say that back to me later. So I remember, stick with it, Ben. Stick with it.
This is partially therapy here today. This
Absolutely.
Isn't just...
I'm on a couch, right?
Let me just...
The billable rate just went through the roof, I think.
Sorry, buddy. So for the industries you're in today with your pilots, is there a vertical or two that you would say a bulk of them are in right now?
In your traditional industry vertical, no. So the interesting thing that I keep finding is, and this is what you're saying, right? Like the solution I've found so far doesn't fit like this is how many headcount and this is the particular industry and this geography, like, not flags that you would find in like LinkedIn and you could just search on them. They tend to be shaped in a very different way, which is somebody who absolutely needs to know. And you could argue like everyone needs to know, like, no, where failure to know something results in something really bad. And the really bad could come in a bunch of flavors, right? It could be you fail the compliance check and so your business shuts down, or you get a huge fine, or someone gets hurt, or worse. And so when you kind of like, or so far, niche down onto that, it's been much easier to find the kinds of like titles that go along with it. So like safety, some into compliance, but compliance is another interesting one. So like it's still kind of whittling down the correct one, and I haven't quite translated those yet into direct industry, like something you'd find in your traditional sort of like, yes, here we go, we'll pull the report on this industry, like quite yet. So that's been interesting, but again, I think that's been part of what I wanted the approach to be, was who feels this the most, and kind of ignore the filtering part. And then sort of work backwards into that of, okay, now let's try to find industry. So still going. I mean, I've had a few iterations of products. This is probably the third full iteration of the product, and it's been out since maybe like March. So it's early. It's early, and that's, I think, what's kind of fun. It's like, okay, this is working. But where do you go next?
Right. It's very exciting time, but crazy time. No, I think that's brilliant, leading pain first. I mean, that's how we do as marketers too, is really understanding that core pain and leading with that, because that's relatable to anyone, no matter what industry they're in, if you can like hone in on that for that title. I also think that when times are tough, because I know a lot of industries right now are kind of locking down spending, which has been a challenge for a lot of folks. And so what I like about your approach is that you are focusing on much higher stakes. And so it's like, this isn't just a like to have or nice to have. This isn't going to make training more fun and easier. It's like, no, there's real stakes here. If you miss this compliance check, your business could shut down, or you could, have legal ramifications. And so it's important. It's an important piece of the message to become a must-have and not a nice-to-have.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that like vitamin painkiller kind of distinction that everyone, right? Like find the thing that's painful and go after that. And I think the other, and this could be somewhat that I've drank my own Kool-Aid, but one of the other things that I found a lot is that I focused from the perspective of the employer. That's where I've been. That's where like my original pain, that was the genesis of the idea. Is like, I wanted a way to train the team. Okay. But then you flip it over and you start to listen to the learner side, right? And you dig into it. Like, we actually do a terrible job of onboarding employees, right? Welcome to this new team. Here's the 1 hour onboarding. You're an expert. Get in there. And
1 hour.
Weird social dynamic, or like 1 week. But
I was gonna say startup world. I don't know if we had any onboarding at startups. Well, we just showed up and did the damn thing.
I mean, that's what we did. Hey, follow them. Good luck. But I think you get into this really interesting place where, okay, that makes sense. But then we've kind of abandoned people a little bit, right? And you get, this is what I mean by the social dynamic. Well, you can't really ask questions anymore. Like, well, what does that mean? Like, you've been here for 3 weeks. How do you not know that?
Right.
And so there's a lot of this kind of gap that I hope becomes interesting and like can close, which is if you can give a better platform, and I don't just mean like take compliance exam, but really, do you need to know this? Do you need to be familiar with this? Do you need to like really know this? Like all those are very different categories, can actually help employees, right? It can give you a mechanism to actually okay, I'm going to walk into the sales meeting and not be freaked out because I don't actually really know all of these things. Like, no, 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 let's get you comfortable with that. And we can make that possible without having your manager sit there and do hours and hours and hours. So anyway, I think there's a really fun lens that I'm learning about where the pain resides, right? The buyer, of course, is going to be the employer, but the pain might actually be in the helping, aiding, accelerating, because what you said is exactly right. People are cutting spend. In the awful cases, they're cutting people, and then realizing they have these big gaps where they need to do more with less. That's not going to be magic, right? We don't just, I'll sit around and wait. So I'm hoping we can find some way to interject in there and say, your best bet to go faster is with better people, not different people. Better people.
The people you have, investing into the people that you have too. I actually, when I was at Idelic, a big piece of what we sold is that we can help with retaining employees. We're in an industry, trucking, which had incredibly high turnover. And so when I was over there, we're talking about how can you retain employees, because turnover is so expensive. It's so painstaking on the employer. And so a big part of that was, let's teach best practices to our target market. It's not just onboarding 1 week and then goodbye, out the door. It's like, okay, 1 week of like intensive, 1 month of like check-ins, okay, 30, 60, 90, like it doesn't have to be super high touch, but there needs to be some type of engagement to make sure that people are comfortable and acclimated. I mean, I'm sure I know there's stats out there that say, a percentage of your turnover is newer employees. And so once you bring them on and you invest all of this education into them, you want them to stay with you. And so it's important that it's a good experience for the employees too. Even if that's not who's buying HeyLoopy, it's important for you to build a product that's attractive to them.
Oh, for sure. And it'll be a representation of that organization, right? Like, how good is your training? Do you invest in me? So I think it's fun. And the part that I think is so interesting is that in this learning and development world, a lot of the like content creation piece is basically magicked away. For years and years, that was your limiting factor, right? Like, oh, we want to create a new onboarding program at the 30th day. Okay, well, give me a few weeks and we'll create a nice program and we'll sit them down for a half hour and we'll go through it. Like, okay. And now, like, gone, right? Like, instantaneously, oh, well, let me give you 10 variations and you can pick the one you like the best. Like, AI has delivered something super interesting. But to me, the one that's fascinating is, but that still just delivers it into one form, right? It's still just, here you go, read it and you'll be an expert, or look at it and watch the video and you'll be done. And that's not really learning, right? That's not knowing. And to me, that's what I think is exciting about HeyLoopy is AI's content arm has sort of made it magic for creating things, but the other side is missing. And I think that's at least what gets me excited is HeyLoopy can be the other side, which is like, okay, now how do we get it into people's heads in all the ways that you want? What you're saying, keep it repeated, do it at intervals, make sure that it's, what needs to be top of mind, what's absolutely critical, what's like, once a year is fine, and what's the true, because it's every industry needs it, what's this person, Ben one time sat here and answered yes to the question that was obviously yes. Terrific. Give it to him again in 365 days. Like, yeah, sure.
Right.
Okay, check.
Right.
Okay. But we have to do all of those things. And I think that's what's really kind of fun. It's like, all right, I think we could do that at a really large scale, easily, and made possible with just really interesting new kinds of infrastructure and tools, and make a whole team much better. And don't even get me started. The other really fun one is that you can also roll out changes.
Oh, cool. So what type of changes?
So like imagine that onboarding alters, or you change your policy, or there's new procedures to run by, or you roll out new product, and so the whole team needs it, right? Like the whole idea, you really have two problems, and we've never solved either one. Collect all the information and then get it into people's heads. We still don't do a great job of that. That's osmosis. It's diffusion. The new employee has been with us for 18 months. Now they're sort of aware. Okay. But then you have this change problem too. The
Hmm.
world is moving so much faster. How do you get changes or new things out to everyone immediately
Right.
beyond well, I sent a Slack message. Everyone should clearly understand the new policy, right? That's how that works. Or I sent an email.
Right. Everyone saw that. Hmm.
Yeah, they're experts, right?
Right.
No, not how it works.
And, and that's a liability thing too, because if you work in an industry where safety is very prevalent, you might have employees out there, and if your handbook says one thing, okay, if somebody does something wrong, we do 3 check-ins with our manager and say that handbook changes to that, says that, but they're still following the old procedure, then all of a sudden that's an easy liability gap. Something happens, and then a prosecutor can say, wow, look at you, you said they should talk to their manager 3 times after an incident occurs, and they've only
Oops.
talked to them twice. Oops. Well, you didn't follow your own handbook. You're at fault. You're negligent. So there's a huge
Absolutely.
must have too, to be able to adapt to those changes and have them like one source of truth. Like this, it's not just a Slack message. It's like, this is where your training and this is where our education lives, and this is the source of truth for what we do and our procedures, etc.
Absolutely. And the funny one is not quite so serious with like real compliance thing, but I've had a few different people in the pilots, they'll upload their procedure, it'll turn it into questions, they'll start working on it, and they'll kind of come back to me and say like, well, we found some errors in the question. And of course, me, startup founder, is like, oh, what did it do? Did it make a mistake or something? And it's like,
Right.
well, and then we went back and we looked at our document, and it turns out the document's out of date. So we had to update it, and then we put it in. It's like, oh,
It's not me, it's
okay. Like,
you.
but like, that's everywhere, right? It's like
Right.
happened a couple times now. Like, it's so common, but we just kind of go, well, eventually everyone will catch up. Like,
Right. Well,
all
it's a
right.
good thing you have us, and we caught this.
Too true, but
um,
yeah, where to go,
where to go?
how to get it into the world. That's still that is the problem.
The
Always.
problem, the fun problem. So I was on your website poking around, and I saw that it seems you're experimenting with a freemium model right now. You do offer X seats for free. So what made you decide on that strategy, and what makes you think that's right for HeyLoopy?
Sure. Well, so came into it from a few different lenses. One was purely technical, which is a lot of what we can do now can just scale so well.
Yeah.
So it's possible. Um, right, not every business can offer that free kind of set up yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one of the biggest ones. Is drop a document, literally drag and drop document, poof, get started. Magic,
Right.
right? Like that was not always true. It's not true in every, but it was true for HeyLoopy. The other one that I think is really interesting, and this goes back to your sort of marketing positioning. Right now, we're not going after the huge LMS players that are like enterprise size, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not the Fortune 500. We're going into the pure disruption, smaller mid-market. So, firms that don't necessarily have the big players yet. They're sort of in that middle ground trying to figure out what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe they have some work already, but they're not quite sure. And so most of our kind of learning management industry is a very go contact sales, book a demo, sort
Right.
of that sales motion.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes sense, right? A lot of it is big systems that have to be stood up over time. Ours is not that, right? Ours is much more
amazing.
modern, dynamic. So like, okay, if you want to go try it, go sign up, give it a shot. I mean, if you hate it, send me an email, I'll fix it. But if you love it, there you go. You can get started. You can start finding real value, and get that deployed immediately. And we can sort of scale with you. So like those two things, technically it became possible, and I think that's the right shape for the market we're talking about, which is
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of time. I can't go spend hours and hours with sales demos back. Like, don't
Just try it
just
out.
go try.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that those kind of two things really help accelerate it, but also just offer something different into the industry, so people can kind of
Yeah.
start getting used to like, yeah, this is
So
tech.
so cool. if I were more technical and qualified to host that conversation, I think a lot of listeners would love to just have like a whole session on like making your product turnkey and how you figured that out, because I know that's such a huge challenge. So that's incredible.
Painfully, that's the answer. It's very simple. Painfully is the answer.
Like I've been with products where we were like pretend turnkey, like it sure looked like it was, but it like was us on the back end like dragging files and dropping them and uploading them and like.
Well, I'll tell you, that was iteration 1. That was like last summer. That was my version. But now, the technical elements, they're large, right? Trying to get completely automated. Type in email. You're in.
You're actually in.
Okay. Like, the whole thing works. Here you go.
Hell yeah. I love it. So freemium model, amazing. That's incredible you're able to do that. But it brings in this other marketing challenge of like, now you're using product-led marketing. And so we just had this conversation about CapCut, like how much do you give? How much do you hold back that it feels good? It's useful enough to push for that upsell. What's been your experience so far with that? What have you been learning?
So far, so a couple of different things. HeyLoopy is shaped around a team. So, it really starts to get more powerful the larger it is. I would flip that, right? Let's say you want to create a quiz for one person. Just go open up Claude or ChatGPT and do it that way, right? It's super fast. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You want an entire team now with like groups of different teams that have different things and different modules at different times. Like, now you need a real system, and you start so that's kind of been our boundary. And because that boundary exists, the thought for the product led was to put the boundary at basically seats, right? How many learners do you have? And putting it there makes it really simple, because almost everyone, right, in this product led motion, they're going to upload a document of one of their procedures, their policies, and they're going to be the one taking it. So they're going to kind of, in software we call that dog fooding, right? They're going to do it themselves.
Yep.
And so by offering kind of a really small, narrow tier, it's like you can get started, you can start using it yourself, you can do it over some time, right? Because this is the other key. Learning takes time. You can't just try it today and then say like, well, I'm done. That's it. Like, no, it has to keep repeating and going. And so that's what kind of we're seeing with the product led is get started, keep it really narrow to, yourself and a friend or two in your organization. Experience it, check it out, and when inevitably, we hope, you find it to be really valuable, okay, now let's open the discussion to larger, to teams, to different departments, however you organize yourself.
Yeah.
And so making that kind of the boundary between the two.
Yeah, so UI and UX are extremely important for what you're doing too then, because that's what's going to keep them on after they, pop on for free.
Yep.
Very cool. I know for me personally, a personal desire for one of my clients, please, let me in the room on a gamification conversation.
Okay.
Are you looking at gamification as a way to retain them after that, like first, wow, this is cool, but all of a sudden there's like incentive, like psychological incentive to stay on and come back and keep going?
Well, I will say that I think it was last week I rolled out a leaderboard. So we're already getting there. We're getting.
He's got it.
Get some competitive juices flowing.
Yeah.
But I back to what you were saying before. Product-led growth plus some gamification to bring people back, plus that like who are you targeting? Again, that's the like interesting feature dynamic, right? If you're like in a super compliance heavy thing and you have like leaderboards with points and hey, here's your skip compliance day. Like, no, you can't skip this. There's no skipping. Sorry, you don't get a cheat day here. So like which kind of business you're looking at matters a lot, and then trying to make sure that that's kind of aligned with what their goals are, right? If they want true deep learning over months, gamification could help to sort of sustain it. If you need just pure compliance, unfortunately, it's probably closer to what they have today. It's just a stick, no carrot. And I think that's what's kind of interesting is trying to see who comes in the door, what kinds of experiences they're looking for. But you named it before. Everyone is the market is the worst thing ever. It's so bad.
It's not actually a blessing, guys. Yeah, you can't really have like the whole like you did it guy at like the mortuary where they're like not
here's the super critical safety, if you do this, the factory blows up. Like, oh, okay, we're going to be serious now.
Not the move, yeah. I can't have Salesforce Trailblazer, was it Trailhead vibes with like, something a little more serious. So you are still early days across multiple industries as we've been talking about. So what has surprised you the most about customer adoption that you're maybe seeing across the board, no matter where they come from?
Oh, surprised me the most. I guess there's a couple different things. This one seems like tooting my own horn, but I'm genuinely surprised at sort of the variety of ways people solve this problem. Like I thought I had that, right? Like, the joke at the outset of this, hey, we'll do a 1 hour onboarding or we'll do no onboarding or the shadowing. We'll have them follow. But people have taken all sorts of different approaches to it. Your 30, 60, 90 that you were talking about, different kinds of like mentoring programs, right? Like it's amazing to me the scale of the problem and how in a large sense it's just been kind of brushed under the hood in the sense that we'll just try our best for it, but there's not really like a best practice yet, which is kind of blowing me away, right? Like you always figure like, wait, somebody will have built this already, and I'm the dumb who doesn't know it yet,
right?
And it's been really fascinating to watch the number of unique solutions that everyone's kind of come up with to solve. So that's been a huge learning of just like experiencing, again, cross markets, cross industries, size of players, just what they're trying to do. So I think that's one. I think the other one that's really fascinating has been the scale of this market itself, right? Because you've got in this learning management and sort of knowledge management space, you have kind of the smorgasbord of business strategies. You have the huge enterprise players that won't go down to the smaller players. You've got the small, super niched, down to a very particular hyper-focused one. And then you've got kind of everyone in between these different states of technological readiness and preparedness, and then by geography, and then by like very specific, like here's just for this state. It's like, oh, okay. So like it's been really fascinating to kind of see how this has evolved over time, and what that kind of means for like how HeyLoopy will interact with it. But anyway, hopefully that was kind of the right answer, or the right shape of answer you're looking for.
That's a great answer.
People are doing a lot of things.
Yeah, which makes sense, and that they will keep doing. So when you're working with LMS, do you integrate with other LMS if someone already has a system in place? What does that look like?
Yep, we can. So we can take some of the data we have and kind of put it into their existing one. This is a whole space. I didn't come from the HR world, but there are all sorts of systems. You got HRIS, LMS. It's acronym soup, but I think that's every single industry's got acronym soup.
That's fair.
But yeah, you can work with lots of existing ones. There's ways to make them sort of semi-interoperable. Yeah. And of course, some players are less friendly than others. So
that's fair.
We try to be friendly. HeyLoopy is friendly.
There you go. You sound friendly. It's a friendly name. You got you changed your name. That came from somewhere else. That was customer feedback. Yeah, we talked about.
Yep. Yeah. When we launched last year, that was the first iteration, the one that didn't go well. That was LoopBot. But yeah,
no one liked
looping
it.
bot, but nobody liked bot. So
it's it's a little impersonal, maybe.
Impersonal. It has kind of a negative connotation with most of internet and tech. But I like HeyLoopy. I think it's a better.
I like HeyLoopy. I think it is fun. That's great. And too, like I think that's a good testament to like you have to. I think everybody will tout that they're agile, and everyone will say that they're flexible and can adapt and pivot, but I don't actually think a lot of founders are willing to. And so to even like change the name, I think that that's a testament to like your willingness to adapt as needed, and that's a good like success indicator that you're not just gonna like have a hill you die on because it's like one customer said something once.
Oh, that's true. But maybe some people do it the first time, but for me, that was born of experience. I've died on a lot of hills in previous companies, and been like, that was not a great idea. I probably should have changed direction. Oops.
Yeah, hindsight's 2020. When you're in it, it's hard sometimes, and that's why it's good to have like you said, you have a good soundboard with like a lot of other founders. I mean, that networking is extremely powerful when you're in your position too.
Oh, for sure. I think a good network. That's why I love the Pittsburgh area for that.
Yeah.
There's a ton of people, small, close knit. Okay, you can pick up a phone, proverbial phone, and call whoever. And yeah, the therapy comment you made before. That's the real key. Every founder needs at least a few couches they can lie down on for a minute or two and just do the rubber duck thing. Let me tell you my problem. Okay, you don't have to answer at all. I just need to say this out loud, and I know what the answer is, and when I'm done here, I will go and do that.
Oh, you need that, especially early days when you don't have like a whole team to commiserate with. You like gotta let that steam out somehow.
Yep.
So besides the lessons you've learned, is there anything else, like maybe externally, that you've noticed that has fundamentally changed about building a business today versus maybe where you were a decade ago? Like, is there anything that someone could take, any lesson learned or kind of what you've seen today that can help someone who's just getting started?
Oh, man. Things that are different today than before?
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest one is the elephant in the room. AI has changed absolutely every single thing about every single part of starting a business today.
Yeah.
I think that's been, where I'm at today is greatly accelerated by all of that and across everything. Mm-hmm. Marketing, sales, engineering. I'm not one of those people that's like, it's going to just take everyone. Like, no. You need annoyingly experience in so many things to be even a moderately successful founder. Mm-hmm. So much. Like, there are so many things. You need to know product. Everything we just named in this. UI, UX. What is that? Mm-hmm. Go to market strategy. How to size the market. How to calculate that. You need fundraising. Like, the list is massive, right? And somebody just starting out, you've got to learn somewhat deeply almost every single one of those as fast as you can.
Yeah.
And then I think the current message out in the world is like, well, AI will make all that poof. Like, no, unfortunately, AI will make it that if you ask it any one of those things, it's going to make very, very smart, deeply informed, fundamentally flawed answers on every dimension. And if you don't know what you're doing, that first turn is going to be like, well, terrific. And now we will go product-led growth. And you're like, wait, but I don't think we can do that technically. Oh, good catch.
Right.
Oh, so I think to me, that's where it's like, more than any other time, I feel like knowing deeply many, many things will be a huge benefit. But you actually have to know them and across many, many things.
It's the age of generalists with AI in the picture, which is great for me. But but no, it's like I just had this conversation with a friend who does AI, and she was like, I've seen people literally just slap together an ad, throw it out, and make a ton of money from an offer and an ad completely generated from AI. And there are circumstances where that can happen, but you have to be smart about using AI. Like, the biggest hill I'll die on is AI is not going to create anything brand new. And so it's a double-edged sword, because now you have all of these tools at your disposal to like make all of these things and go to all these channels and build all this messaging and write blog posts so quickly and all these things. But and the downside is that everybody else does too. So now everyone's getting inundated with like somewhat of the same language. I mean, I think anybody could raise their hand and say, like, oh, I can sniff an AI post. And it's like, yeah, well, that's a good indicator that if you're doing it the wrong way, then people are going to, A, be able to tell that's AI, which may or may not be a bad thing, but B, you're going to sound like everyone else. And so you do still need, in the marketing world, that human touch. Like, AI is a tool to make you more efficient. That's great. I'm billable, so my clients love that. I can work a lot faster, but at the same time, you still need that human touch to be able to make it a little something special, that little piece that's different. I mean, there's like something to the human aspect or element that I don't think we're ever going to lose. And I even see that on social media. People say, can I like turn off any AI content? Because I just like hate looking at it. And it's like, yeah, if it's done poorly, then yeah, it's awful.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Well, and I think, I don't know, from my perspective, most of the AI content today was the thought leader content from like 5 years ago. It's the, my kid tripped today at his soccer game. Let me tell you about what it meant to me and leadership. Like,
right.
What? Like, this is real? Like, oh yeah, that was real. That was LinkedIn 5 years ago.
Right.
LinkedIn today too, just at larger scale.
Right.
So I think, absolutely. I think the discernment, what you talked about, right? AI is not going to make the fundamental answers any better because you still have choices everywhere. Mm-hmm. The one you're asking about. Do you want to go product-led growth or not? There's no middle ground. So you have to pick one. Well, how do you pick it? Well, can AI pick it for you? What does that even mean? Like, I have no idea if this is going to work. I'll tell you in 5 years which one it went. So I have to pick one path. It can help make a choice around it, but ultimately it's going to be the person running it who has to use their judgment and pick. You can collect so much information, but then that's one. There's like 1,000 of those every day. Yeah. So like, okay, do you go this way or this way? That post or that one? This one or this one? And I think that's where the distinction gets kind of missed, which is we are now the coordinators, and we have to make big and lots of decisions every day. And we can make lots more decisions every day, but it didn't get like answered for us. You can't just prompt, make me successful business. Like,
right. There's so much more to it. There's so much to it. Yeah. And even like the use of AI in like prompts, like I've found that using it to pull experiences of others is a really powerful way to use it, because then it's like no one's ever done exactly what you're doing at this exact time to your exact market. And so it's not going to have that, that silver bullet answer, but you can say kind of, who kind of looks like me and what did they do and how did they do it? And then you can start to use your brain to kind of figure out what makes the most sense for you. But it's never going to be 100% accurate, because like you said, you'll say, oh, but what about this? And oh, you're right. That is something to consider. Sure. Let me give you the exact opposite answer.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it, right? Like in the world we're in, marketing, starting business, right? Like judgment is your problem, not facts. Mm-hmm. If you want to find a fact, go ask them. But we used to do that with Wikipedia and Google before it. Like, there's nothing new in finding facts. It can now summarize them and put them in a nice report for you. Great. Judgment is still uncertain. And I think that's well, how much do you weigh this? Do you want to do it? And I will say, to me, it's the whole thing is about building the tooling for it. Right? If you want to make it that it's easier to make the decisions and you can just say yes, no, instead of having a whole chat. Like, that's useful. Yeah. And so you can kind of reduce the complexity, but you're never getting rid of the judgments. You're going to have to pick that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, very well said.
Yeah. But that is the biggest thing for me. I think last rounds of startups versus this one, it's and it ripples. Venture capitalists have gone into their usual sort of pie in the sky thinking of the next thing. It used to be autonomous vehicles, then it was Bitcoin. Now it's this. Like, okay, cool. Each cycle they come up with something new, and it changes the world, but not as much as they think. Yeah. And then I think there's like a whole new sort of, because of those ripples, it's changing like how people look at markets and go-to-market strategies and all sorts of things. And your point is another huge one you mentioned before, noise. Yeah. The last time, like when robotics wanted to do some marketing or we want to pull up some ads, it was crickets. There's nobody else around. You're the only one doing it. If you spent a little bit of time and effort, it was rewarded.
Yep.
Now,
it's loud. It's loud out there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, maybe you got some magic, but I got no magic when it comes to like how to break through the noise, because shouting more doesn't seem to work either.
No, it's very strategically placed. What you're saying and where you're saying it nowadays is like so key and so thought driven. I mean, you're in startup world, so you get this. It's just testing too. I mean, every time I bring on a new client, they're like, I want 10 leads a week, and I'm like, listen, we gotta look at your addressable market. We could test just about anything and see what works and invest that much in it. I could tell you the ROI on any given channel and say, okay, well, if we put 20 grand into that, we're gonna get 10 leads a week. But we have to get there. No industry is the same. No business is the same.
No, but I want the 10 leads right now.
We want them yesterday. During slow season. No one's making big. It's almost Christmas. Big financial decisions surely can get made. Let's buy this. Let's get them to buy this software this month.
Can it just run forever? Do you mind if it just like works?
And then we could just be done, and we don't have to talk anymore after that, right? Yeah. That's how that works.
I've seen that. Never.
Yeah. That's the real magic. If we can figure that out, we can retire to our island.
The infinite machine.
Yeah. Okay, we are running on time here. I have a couple kind of high level questions I wanted to pitch at you. The first is for folks starting out who maybe have a similar model to you, similar kind of software, whatever. What have you found has been your most successful channel to build these pilots? Is it networking? Is it just cold outreach, asking for help? Like, what has been the best for you, and do you have any advice?
Networking is definitely the biggest one for me. Both people that I know personally, and then going to the people you know personally and going to the next hop. Mm-hmm. I think we always sort of discount how much other people are willing to help. Not everyone, but there's always a few people in your network that are willing to help. And I would also say that I think for a lot of people, they don't necessarily, or many people can fall into the trap of thinking that their network is very small. Mm. And I think it can be even less familiar people can be extraordinarily helpful. Right? It doesn't have to be your best friend as your only network. Like, no. You know, that random professor you had, or that person you ran into at the weird networking event you got roped into. Like, that might do it.
Right. Yeah.
And it's a game of like numbers and serendipity, which as a technical person feels really weird and annoying, and I wish the world didn't work that way, but it's how the world works. It's just probability.
We've accepted this. Yeah.
just get over it.
No, absolutely. And I think people, for the most part, I mean, I'm sure there are people that aren't, but I would say the grand majority of people that I know and I've been connected with in the business world, like, they want to help. Like, if you can provide help as simple as like an introduction or recommending a free trial to your HR person, like, most people are going to do that.
Yep. And I think the biggest one is giving the person you're talking to what help you're interested in.
Yeah.
The most overused line is, I'm happy to help. But that person usually has no idea what that means. Like, do you want to just keep chatting? Do you need something?
Right.
Right. And for the entrepreneur side, the answer is not, I need a customer. Like, yes, that's the final goal.
Customers,
what are the
please.
Steps in between? You know, does anyone fit into this? Do you know anyone who's currently doing this? Or
right, absolutely. And that makes it easier on them. If you're just like, hey, do you know anyone who's kind of in this space that you give me an intro to? It would mean a lot. Like, something as simple as that is such an easy ask, and people will do it.
Absolutely. But yeah, networking is a big one. It's, well, especially in the B2B world.
Yeah, for sure.
It's everything.
Absolutely. And so any final kind of tips or advice you would give listeners if they are starting their first company for the first time? Is there any...
Don't do it. No.
Don't do it. Just run.
Get out of here. Don't start something in the learning space. First time, so a couple different things. One, you need to be able to get punched in the face repeatedly. If you you know, tell yourself that you're one of those people that can do that because you've probably heard that advice before. That's cool. But I want you to just remember that you're probably going to be doing this for years, and it will be constant, daily, hourly. Oh man, right? You might be one of the lucky ones who find the right thing and the thing just like flies off the handle. Congrats. I'd love to be an advisor. I'll take a small equity stake.
Loop me in on that, please.
But for everyone else, the 999 out of 1,000 of us, it's a grind, and you just have to be okay with that. So that's one. And then I think the second one is just the cliche is like find a network, but it's really just like find a couple people who you can unabashedly vent, rant to.
Yeah.
And better if you can vent and rant to them and they know what they're talking about, will be incredibly helpful. And then along that same path, I'm just thinking of these off the top of my head of where I've seen lots of people fall off. The third group of people are the ones who look like the second group. You can vent to them, and then they tell you exactly what you need to do. Run away from those people. If anyone dares to think that, like, I've been in that position and here's exactly what you need to do in this scenario, just steer clear. Shake your head and go, oh, that's so interesting. And then just exit stage left. And never speak to them again. Because if they think they genuinely know exactly what to do, or they've been there and here's what to do, they're fundamentally wrong, and they're going to leave you right off a cliff.
We love a founder without an ego. That is, especially after like a few rounds of fundraising, and you're still a little with it. It's like, okay, this is
correct.
That's a friend to have.
And there's just like a dime a dozen people who are, oh, well, here's exactly how we solved it. You need to do like. When we did it this way, this happened.
Good luck.
I think it had something to do with what we did, but I can't really be sure. If it doesn't look like that, it's just bad advice. So.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I love it. So for anyone who wants to learn more about you or HeyLoopy, where can they find you? What links? Where can they go?
HeyLoopy.com. And I'm on LinkedIn trying to be an ass.
Well, there you go. Follow that ass on LinkedIn. Ben,
the anti-thought leader. That's what we're going for.
I actually love that. Please coin that. Ben, this has been awesome. It's so great having you on and chatting again. This has been wonderful. Thanks for coming on today.
Thank you, Gina. This was a lot of fun. I like it. Hopefully it helped somebody.
Heck yeah. I'm sure it did.